What's up, everyone? We are live at 5. It is Thursday, September 10th. I'm Paul Wontorek.
And I'm Beth Stevens.
And we are joined, as always, by Caitlin Moynihan.
Hello.
How are we doing today, ladies?
Great.
Beth,
How are you?
Your internet seems good today?
A little better today, hopefully.
Yeah, a little better.
It's Thursday, so that's exciting.
It's Thursday, but we don't have Summer Fridays anymore, so we will be here tomorrow as well. Remember? But
good thing you reminded me.
So yesterday, Beth, we found out all about this production of Godspell up in the Berkshires because theater is actually happening, and we will continue that trend, that topic today. Mm-hmm. Who do we have as a guest?
Oh, we are very lucky to have Matt Densky here from a real live production of Fully Committed in Connecticut.
Yeah, and normally they do this show with like a cast of 30 playing all the characters, but he's just going to play all the characters. Not true. Not true. Yeah. We will get to Matt, but first, let's do some news.
Okay. We're going to start with the bummer news. We're just going to get it out of the way.
Sorry. I was in the music. I was dancing in the music. We should have had sadder music.
The music is upbeat. The news is not good at all. Dame Diana Rigg has died at the age of 82. There she is with her beret.
Oh, and that's her at Broadway.com. That's her in our
at
office.
Broadway.com.
Yeah.
I got to interview her and, of course, drink Prosecco with her because she loved her Prosecco. Let me tell you, you know Diana Rigg. You either know her as Emma Peel from The Avengers, or you know her from Game of Thrones. Or
Game of Thrones. People were texting me. Non-theater people.
Non-theater people. Or if you're a little older, you might know her as one of the Bond girls. She was in on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Anyway, before all of that, Diana Rigg was a classically trained actress with the Royal Shakespeare Company. She's been on Broadway many, many times, was nominated for all of her appearances on Broadway, all 4 of them, I think, and won for playing Medea. And she was a dame, as I mentioned, an illustrious career. Now, when I got to interview her, I will say, of all of her many, many, many accomplishments, she told me she was proudest of her salmon fishing. She had a chalet, that's her word, in France, and she loved to fish for salmon. She was a wonderful, delightful person, and we're very sad to announce this news.
Yes, but an icon who's lived a fantastic, fantastic life. So we got news about the Pulitzer Prize for Drama. So it's an eligibility question about the 2021 Prize for Drama. Basically, because of the pandemic, they have decided, what did they decide exactly? That they are including, eligible entries may include plays that were scheduled to be produced, but were postponed or canceled. So I guess they're considering the scripts of plays that didn't actually get produced, but were supposed to, right?
Well, also they're looking at things that were
and then online plays.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
or site specific.
You're jumping my exciting news. So online plays, obviously there's been a lot of theater happening online. And so those plays will be eligible, which is exciting. And the dates are everything from January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2020. So there's still, I guess if you wrote a great play,
and we put it right here, yes.
And we do it right here, you could win a Pulitzer. So there's something to aim for.
That's something to work on, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get that done. Anyway, we'll see who wins. It's going to be interesting to see if some of the unusual entries triumph.
That's right. Okay, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. Brandon Victor Dixon, who can do no wrong, there he is. He's a Tony and Emmy nominee, as you know. He's acquired the rights to this new children's novel. Now it's called The Magic in Changing Your Stars, and he's joined forces with Victoria Lang and Ryan Bogner, Broadway and Beyond theatricals. They got the stage and film rights. This is a really wonderful novel, got great reviews. It just came out in April, and it's about an 11-year-old boy who wants to land. He's very shy, but he wants to be the Scarecrow in his school production of The Wiz. And then it's sort of a time-traveling book that takes him back to Harlem in the 30s and forward and backward to be. He's inspired by his grandfather, and he learns about a lot of Black history and Black musical theater history. And it's just a really inspiring book. So look for it. It might come to a stage or a screen near you soon. So Brandon Victor Dixon is branching out.
Beth, you're telling me that this involves The Wiz?
Yes, I knew that would spark up your
I'm
interest.
in.
There you go.
I'm in. Anything involving The Wiz, I'm in. Okay, so we found out the Broadway flea market and grand auction will be happening online because everything happens online, even flea markets. And, flea markets are normally about walking around, smelling old things, deciding you need them in your home, but you won't be able to smell them. I actually just bought a copy of, I don't know. I bought a copy of Life magazine with a name on the cover. Did you see that on my Instagram?
I did see that, yes.
It's a great...
I'm wearing a mask everywhere. I'm not smelling anything, so I don't know.
Oh, it smells. It smells so good.
Got that smell.
It smells like the 60s. Anyway,
wow.
So they're taking it online because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And what they're doing is this will all happen on September 20th. There will be a big auction on September 20th, but you can go on early on BroadwayCares.org and do some silent bidding on some hot items. And of course, all the money will go to those affected by HIV/AIDS, COVID-19, and other critical illnesses. But some of the things that they're auctioning off are I think you can do a video with Sarah Jessica Parker, right?
Yeah, well, with a lot of people, right?
Yeah. Sarah Jessica Parker. I started with Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick and John Benjamin Hickey and Jonathan Groper at Peters, Ben Platt, opening night tickets to the Music Man, Plaza Suite. But yeah, so there'll be a big Zoom room bidding battle at 5 p.m. on the 20th. There are more than 100 silent items. So go on the website, find out more. Last year, the event raised over $870,000. So yeah, get on for a good cause. Beth?
Yes.
Do you have some history for us? Can we do
I
today
do. I was
Broadway?
waiting for you to say that. Yes.
Did you want me to say
history.
Today in Broadway? Okay.
I did. I was waiting.
Let's do our favorite segment. Hit it.
Okay.
What do you got, Beth?
It was 20 years ago today, September 10th, 2000, that the original production of Cats on Broadway closed.
What a dark night on Broadway.
It was a dark night on Broadway. Broadway was forever changed. Now, of course, Cats was known for its tagline, now and forever. Broadway.com was a mere 4 months old. Paul and I were there.
Beth, I remember being there, but was it your first time seeing Cats?
No, you and I went with you. Took me to Cats earlier.
I made you go see Cats before that. Okay.
You did. So they announced it in, I think, January for a closing, and then it got extended through September. It's supposed to close in April or something, and it extended.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So of course you all know Cats, Andrew Lloyd Webber's musical based on T.S. Eliot's Book of Old Possums, Book of Practical Cats, directed by Trevor Nunn, choreographed by Julianne Lynn. You know that. Okay. And you know the first Grisabella was Betty Buckley. I don't even need to tell you these things because there she is. There's Betty Lynn Buckley. But the last performance of Cats was a big deal. It had run for 18 years. That's 15 previews and 7,485 performances. At that time, it was the longest running Broadway show, and it kept that position for 6 more years until Phantom took it over. Right now, today, it's the 4th longest running show. Wicked is right on the tail, though. Like in a year and a half, Wicked's going to get into that 4th spot. Now, as I said, you and I were there, Paul.
Yes.
And because I just moved, as you can tell from my background, that it's different now. I have unearthed a lot of my treasures, and I have the final playbill.
But wait, get it really close, Beth. I have a question. Does it smell like 2000?
It smells like 2000, Paul. It smells. It doesn't. It doesn't. But what this is a special playbill that was a commemorative playbill that's why I kept it to commemorate.
The cat's crying. Grisabella's crying. Is that Grisabella? I don't know. Who is that?
It's just the logo. Well, they're the dancers. You know the whole spiel. But
the dancer and
I want to just bring you into this. And we've got Matt waiting. I'm not going to go on too long. But this was a 6 o'clock performance. There were all of these speeches by luminaries. Jerry Schoenfeld, who was the head of the Schubert organization at the time, Andrew Lloyd Webber, Trevor Nunn, Cameron McIntosh, the producer, and then already afterward, after 60, which is Chelsea Piers, and there were fireworks. Right? It was a big deal. It was a big deal. And then they had already announced Mamma Mia was the next show at the Winter Garden Theater. I want to mention one more thing before we go. there's one actress who had her entire run in Cats for 18 years, and that's Marlena Danielle.
Marlena Danielle.
There she is.
There she
Marlena
is.
Danielle, and there she is as Bombalurina, which is what she played in the final performance. So there you go. Linda Balgord, by the way, was the final Grisabella.
Yeah.
I have a lot of cat. There she is.
Yeah.
There she is with who's she with there? Do you know who she's with? She's with Sharon Wheatley, who you might know from Come From Away. And
Yeah,
Sharon
yeah.
Wheatley at the time was Jenny Annie. That's what you probably can tell from the
Wow.
the makeup. There you go.
One of my cherished possessions is I got a photo with some of those cats in costume, but I didn't prepare it. I would have brought it.
Oh, well, you could have dressed as, Rum Tum Tugger, and we really could have had a real party. Anyway,
Nope.
that's our day in history.
We have to bring our very talented guest in. We're talking about cat. We can't. Beth loves to go on tangents about cats.
I went on
she
and
does
on.
it all the
I'm
time.
sorry.
She just loves
Constantly.
cats. She knows all about all their relationships, who slept with who, all that
Totally.
stuff. Hey,
100%.
Caitlin, are you okay?
He's dying.
I
You
love cats.
We all love
I like
cats.
cats. Paul, after we
let's-
saw the Cats movie, you put cat ears on my desk. Do you remember that? And I wore them.
Remember when we used to work in an office?
No, years ago. Years ago.
Years ago.
Anyway.
Amazing. Well,
Anyway.
let's tell everybody about today's guest, okay?
Please.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for this super fun episode of Live at 5 Home Edition, live right here on Facebook and YouTube. And as we said before, guys, today we have actor Matt Densky here with us. He is gearing up to star in the equity-approved indoor production of the solo show Fully Committed at the Music Theater of Connecticut. This is, yesterday we talked about how Godspell is happening. We love hearing how theater is happening during these times. You guys may know him. He was recently seen on the Wicked National Tour right before everything shut down. And he also was in the national tour of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. You guys can follow him on social at Matt Doesn't Insta on Instagram, and leave all of your questions in the comments below. Everyone, please welcome Matt and Paul.
Hello, Matt Densky.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm so good. So I've got a funny little anecdote about the Cats closing performance.
Oh my God.
I was obsessed with Cats at that age, and because we couldn't get a ticket to the final show, I saw it the week before it closed.
Oh.
And then we went to Broadway on Broadway that day, and my mom took me to the stage door to get Marlena's autograph before the performance.
Marlena Danielle. We were on the same block, Matt Densky. We could have met way back then, 20 years ago.
We sure could have, but
Look at that. And did you even realize that it was the 20th anniversary today?
I had
Or did we just-
forgotten, but I guess I was there. So,
And you know what? Look at you now. One of
Look
the
at me
few. Now you are an equity actor and you are approved to go on stage tomorrow night, right?
I know.
Tomorrow night is your first performance. You're at the Music Theater of Connecticut, which is a theater that you have a history with.
Mm-hmm.
And you're doing Fully Committed, which is a really fantastic solo play, but also, I would say, really difficult solo play. This is not an easy role. And I love, it's so interesting. I talk to actors who are kind of like, they're like saying, like, I'm out of practice. I'm not like doing my craft right now, but you're doing it like full out. This is like a really challenging role.
Yeah.
So are you ready to go on tomorrow?
I think I'm ready. It's it's like I call like learning shows like this because I did the Santaland Diaries here.
Yeah, I saw that.
A few years ago, which is a similar show, but it's more like specific monologues about specific things. And this is like so all over the place. If you guys don't know the show, it's about an out of work actor named Sam that finds himself kind of answering all of the phones at this like swanky Upper East Side restaurant and talking to like 39 different people, but they're all him. So I do Sam and then I do everybody else. So
and there are a lot of New York characters desperate to get a table because they all want to dine really close to each other in an enclosed area for some reason. It's a history piece.
I know.
And it's a period piece right now. And they're all desperate to get a table. And you're the holder of everything that they want.
Keeper, yes. So so it's great. So it's totally different than Santaland in that it's not learning it. It was not nearly as like linear. So I definitely kind of had to like marinate it for a couple weeks there, but it's been like such a great, like fun challenge. And Kevin, the director, has been so awesome and just like letting me play and figure out what I want to do with everybody and the voices. So it's been great.
So obviously, we were talking yesterday about Godspell, and that's not a big cast, but it's a cast of people. This you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That makes things a little easier. You don't have to cut the kisses. There's no kisses in Fully Committed. But talk a little bit about the rehearsal. Obviously, you and your director have to be careful. What talk about sort of the overall process and what it meant for you to be rehearsing this show right now.
It's been super easy, to be honest, kind of. I mean, we've been really stringent about, temperature checks. Everybody working on the production has to get COVID tests every week. Everything is sanitized and there's sanitizer everywhere. But we've been rehearsing in a social distance way. And it's been super easy just being me because I just worry about myself.
Right.
So yeah, it's been pretty chill, which has been nice.
It seems like solo plays will become a popular thing in the coming year. I'll bet we'll get to see all of our favorite solo plays get great productions.
Absolutely.
But the theater, I saw on the theater's website that they described there's a 6-foot splash zone between. I love that, between you and the audience. Correct. Which I don't think that means that you are known for your splashing. I think. Yeah.
It is a term of caution. It is that these seats are a little closer than the other seats, depending on your level of comfortability.
Got it. But they sort of like zoned off different areas in the audience, right?
Yeah. So they removed seats. They moved seats to kind of make them more social distance accessible. Everything's been super careful. The set was designed in a way that I'm like very far upstage, so I'm not really close to any. So it's been, it's definitely, and having done a couple productions here, like I can see that they've definitely like taken the effort to make this okay for people to come to.
Yeah, cool. And the audience will wear masks. So you will be looking at an audience of masks. That'll be interesting.
Trying to see if they're laughing or not.
Right, that's right. It's a comedy.
Laugh loud. No, but I mean, what I think is so great too is that I think we're selling under 25 live tickets to the performance in person because Connecticut is still in phase 2. But then we have over 80 virtual tickets for each performance. So if people are not ready to, come out and see a show in person yet, they have the opportunity to view it live every single night, which Amazing. I think is awesome because that's what I think to make theater happen right now, we kind of have to do. So
cool. And also, if you have friends and relatives that aren't in the area, they can all get to see you do this.
Yeah, for sure. So it's
so
yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, say you talk.
No, it's like a weird double-edged sword because we get to do, it's so amazing to be back in rehearsal. Like I said to my director the other day, I was like, we're getting to do this again. Like I missed how amazing this is. But on the flip side, the people that aren't ready to come to a show yet, or relatives that are not anywhere near it right now can tune in. So yeah.
So what have the last 6? I know you were in Wicked. You were in the national tour of Wicked in the ensemble and covering Bach, right? Yeah. And you were in Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin. You told us before we went live. So what was the, that's strange. You're in a gig, you're doing a gig, it's a big show. Wicked is a very, otherworldly kind of show, very large show. And then you just sort of like packed your bags and went home to New York, and you've been, what have the last 6 months been like?
It's weird. It's super weird. And we all, I think what was so weird at the beginning was that none of us, anywhere knew how long this was going to go on for. So I think that was the initial anxiety of like not knowing when we were going to come back was like the first couple months. And then when we kind of realized it's like going to be a second, that was kind of something to embrace. No, but we my husband and I went to my parents' house in Connecticut for like 4.5 months. And then we moved back. And so, it's been weird. It's been cool because I think everybody was in that, we were all in this for a couple of months and not knowing what to do. And I think it's so amazing just to see, to see live shows come back, be it indoors or outdoors, to see people being so creative with virtual stuff. And it's just so cool to see everybody kind of take the mourning period together and then go, okay, what can we do next? Because we can't let this go away. So
right. What about, you're a young rising actor starting to get a lot of work. You have a lot of friends who are performers, I'm sure. Some people have left New York City, some people are, some people become real estate agents. I've seen all sorts of stories happen. What's it been like watching your community of friends and probably from school? You went to a big acting school, right? You went to University of Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what have you experienced that? What do you think people's mindsets, are at people? Because, you're just on the verge of like making this a career. And I'm sure a lot of people who are sort of right at that point.
Yeah, it's been, I think everybody has taken this so, you have to deal with this how you're going to deal with this. And if people, if being in the city and seeing the marquees dark is like tough for people and they need to get the heck out of the cities, and if that's going to be what's going to make you healthy in here, then go. Then
Right.
go do. We all have other things that we could be doing, but we just need to perform. And if the opportunities aren't necessarily in New York at the moment, or if they're just starting to come back, it's a tricky place to be right now. It's a really expensive place to be right now.
Yeah.
So I say everybody do what's going to make you happy right now, because that's what we need with all this crazy.
Absolutely. Take care of yourself. Everybody needs to take care of themselves and make sure that they're all on the right path. So you grew up in Connecticut. So, and obviously, you were at the stage door of Cats 20 years ago today. So I'm assuming you got to see a lot of Broadway, probably like me. I grew up in Connecticut too. I took the Metro North to Broadway all the time. So is that sort of how you were exposed to it? Your parents took you?
Yeah. So my first Broadway show was the original Broadway cast of Beauty and the Beast.
Nice.
January of '95, I think, before they all went to LA. And I just I don't know. My mom always says she was like, it was amazing, but I was watching you watch Beauty and the Beast the entire time, because I was just like this. And then we would go in like every year to see something. And then when I got a little older, I was like, we gotta go. So I remember doing the Wedding Singer rush like 4 times during high school and all of that stuff. So that was fun. It was nice to be so close to the city growing up, and then kind of go away to school and just focus on that and know what the city was like. I had so many friends that had never even been to New York before we graduated. So it was just, it was nice to know the city before making the big leap.
When you play, you've gone on as Bach on tour, right?
Yeah.
And you get to sing my favorite lyric ever in any musical. Nessa, I've got something to confessa. That's like a confessa. You can sing it you can sing it if you want. Everybody loves The Wicked. Was Wicked sort of a dream show to get to be a part of?
It was. It is. I was in callbacks for Wicked for like 8.5 years. And I just kept beating down the door and hoping it was going to work out. And I remember the day I got the call, I was like, oh my God, this is literally a dream coming true. And it's a dream come true to do it, to do it 8 shows a week. 8 shows a week is a tough schedule, but it's so easy when you're, looking around and you're like, there's a goat on stage. And I'm wearing a freaking crazy sleeve and have red hair, and it's just amazing. So I miss it. We all miss it so much.
Yeah. Are there any amazing, a lot of times the cast from the tours end up coming to New York and to Broadway. Are there some great witches that we need to be paying attention to?
Our witches are top notch right now. Miss Talia Seskauer as Elphaba is she is to be watched, y'all. That voice. If you have not looked out for her, she is fab. Allison Bailey as Glinda is fab. Everybody's so good right now. So
Cool. I'm going to follow them on the social medias. I'm going to get caught up. I'm going to get caught up.
Yes. Wonderful.
I like the touring witches. The touring witches you have to pay attention to because, you know, they're going to end up taking things on.
It's true.
Those powerhouses on the road. Hey, Caitlin, will you come back in and are you coming? Are you coming?
I
Hi.
was coming. I wanted to do our little fan questions video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do some fan questions. Yeah. Anyway.
I was waiting for you to be like, fan questions.
Sorry, I was like, I was looking at you. I didn't know what you wanted me to do. I'm sorry. I forgot the script. I forgot.
It's okay. All right. Yes, we're going to get to some fun fan questions. And Peter wants to know, how did you get involved with Fully Committed? Like, how did this come to you? Were you initially nervous about doing it during these times? How this all happened?
Well, wait, let me just be clear. You've done, like, you were in End of the Rainbow. I love that they did End of the Rainbow at that theater. Who'd you play in End of the Rainbow?
I played like everybody else. They're like the three lead.
I love it. That's the play that the Judy Garland movie was based on. Everybody.
Yes. And Sexton, who was Lucy in the Jekyll and Hyde DVD, who I'm obsessed with, was Judy, and like
amazing.
We so hit it off, and it was like the gayest, most wonderful thing in the world.
And then you did 39 Steps, and you did Santaland Diaries there. So you are a vet of the theater. So did they just come to you and say, "What would you like to do next?"
Well, we had a chit chat about it, but at that point, you know, we weren't sure if the state was gonna say okay, if equity was going to say okay. So until we got the green light, it was, you know, we got the green light very, very quickly before rehearsals started. So it was a lot of kind of scrambling to really learn the show.
Wow.
Yeah, they're great here. If you're in New York and close, just like come, because it's like a really great place to work. So.
Did you get to see Jesse Tyler Ferguson do it on Broadway?
I did, and he was just delicious. So it was, you know, kind of fun to remember what he did and then go from there.
I'm sure this might change a lot, but do you have a favorite character? Because you get to do all kinds of people.
I do. I like to do Bunny Vanderveer. She's, to me, in my head, so the way that I kind of like do the voices and play all these different characters is I have to know who I'm doing in my head. So to me, Bunny Vanderveer is like played by Christine Baranski. So
okay, cool.
You know,
love it.
Very much like this. So that's fun. Carol Ann Rosenstein Fishburne to me is Tova. So you know, it's kind of fun to like play with the cadence because I'm like hearing other people do them.
I love that.
I love it. That is so good. Okay, next question. So Jenny wants to know, do you feel like there's pressure in the fact that you're one of the few people getting equity approval to perform in front of people? Like, does that ever come up to you?
Yeah, there's definitely pressure, not like bad pressure, but like, you know, we are being very responsible and trying to, you know, we're trying to do this and show people that can be done. Because I'll repeat myself from conversations I've had with friends, but like, you know, if we're doing this for 25 people inside right now, like we've got to start with 12 before we can get to 2,500 again. So, you know, we're trying to do this right so that it goes well.
Love it. I love it. Okay. Eleanor wants to know, what are you most looking forward to opening night?
To be honest, I'm like really excited to have an audience and to hear laughter. We've obviously, you know, with our rules right now, we've really just been able to have the immediate artistic team in the room. So I'm excited to see where the laughs are. That's what I'm most excited about.
Awesome. So you start tomorrow and it's running through the 27th of September. And people, like you said, people can watch it from home. They can buy a ticket and watch it from home live, right? Every night. It's like live.
Every night. Live HD, baby.
I love that. Or you can go and you'll be safe. There's plenty of space. There's hand sanitizers everywhere, I hear.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Congratulations, Matt. So nice to meet you.
Thank you. You too. Thanks for having me. This is So fun.
Of course. I hope you have a fantastic run, and we can't wait to see you back in Oz one
Yeah.
day.
Someday. Somewhere over the rainbow.
Oh, amazing.
Hey, Caitlin, why don't you take us out?
Yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today for another very fun episode of the Live at 5 Home Edition. You can follow along wherever you get your podcasts by searching for hashtag Live at 5 and hitting that subscribe button. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. We talked to Emma Kingston and Waylon Jacobs, who are starring in yet another actual in-person production of The Last 5 Years, but this is happening in London. Taking us out today is one of my absolute favorite Broadway.com vlog moments that have ever happened, of Leslie Kritzer's Day-O Beetlejuice vlog, having just a nice little cat's moment.
I know what you want. You want a